It's me, your boy Monkey. And today we're doing a reaction, and it involves the dark lives of Disney adults. If you don't know what is a Disney adult, it's basically in the namesake, but basically you dedicate your life to Disney. You buy all of their products from Disney. You know, even buying like the most exclusive things in Disneyland or Disney World or whichever one it is. And I'm gonna react to this because I haven't actually seen this one video, and it's by a man named Moon. And yeah, no, let's get started because I'm very curious on what's this.
Scroll through Disney content on TikTok and you'll see them everywhere. Adults on rental scooters clutching slushies, completely overwhelmed by meeting cartoon characters. Or what
Yeah,
about this viral clip of a 28-year-old from Ohio meeting her favorite character Goofy for the first time? She's in floods of tears at the prospect of finally meeting a person in a costume. These are the Disney adults and their behavior.
dude, why are you crying, man? Like, why are you crying? That's a man or a woman in the suit. I'm pretty sure it's damn hot in there, man. And you're crying? Seriously? You're crying? Oh
Behavior is exactly what you'd expect from young children. In fact, walk around a Disney park today and you might expect excited children running about screaming with excitement. But instead, what you get is young and
dude, look, yeah, look at all this, man.
middle-aged adults wearing fancy dress pretending that they're 10 years old again. Only
Yeah,
about 37% of Disneyland visitors
yeah, dude. Like dude, all like all these like grown adults, man, and not a single kid. Like you see them like on TikTok. You know, you see these people. They dress up as like their favorite character. Not like dress up because I know there's a. I think there's like a some sort of rule over there in Disney where you can't wear the exact same outfit of the Disney characters because they'll kick you out or something like that. But yeah,
live in households with kids. The rest are just grown-ups without children, treating their love for Disney like a personality
63%. That's insane. My God.
trades. Disney is obviously aware of this and noticed that this was happening and pivoted hard. Now there's adult-only after-hour events where you can sip champagne while riding Space Mountain. There's an
What?
unprecedented 110 plus venues across the park serving alcohol, and an even upmarket food and wine festival. Because what Disney figured out, and it's kind of genius, is how to
Crazy.
trigger nostalgic childhood feelings in our adult brains. They pump specially engineered scents onto Main Street, a vanilla and baked goods mixture that's been tested to trigger memory.
Really? Dude, that's insane. They can do that. And also 110 alcohol locations? Dude, what happened to just like just only being for just kids only, man? Like, dude, this is just unsettling, man.
The castle and other decor is painted in neutral pastel shades that create what researchers call warm nostalgia. The employees go
Yeah.
through this incredibly intensive training where they have to learn to never break character and to always maintain this continuous fantasy where the outside real world ceases to exist. The park
Yeah.
really promises something powerful: simplicity, a clear division between good and evil, problems that resolve in minutes, a world where believing in magic might actually fix things, where the news doesn't even exist, where your biggest concern is which character breakfast to book and what ride to go on next, as time just disappears into the background. Disney is an emotional support system for people who can recite the words to The Little Mermaid or Frozen but might actually struggle to make eye contact at dinner. And this is just a microcosm of something happening pretty much everywhere.
Oh yeah, and there's also a an app where it was for grown you know, adults who only like date like Disney adults, you know. Like there's a I think there is like some sort of app about that. I don't know what what it was called, but yeah.
across society. Culture is becoming infantilized and the concept of adulthood is dying, and we are witnessing the process of idiocracy happening in real time. Not long
Yeah,
ago,
that's
adulthood
true.
was a privilege, a mark of respect, and something to be embraced. And the fact that it's not anymore is having huge consequences for everyone. And to understand this, let's
Yeah.
talk about the term adulting first. This suggests that growing up is some kind of temporary performance rather than just what you are. People are starting to post about successfully scheduling dentist appointments like they've conquered something monumental, paying
Okay.
bills,
Okay, buddy. Oh, yeah, don't fucking fill yourself up with this, man. All right? Don't fill yourself with this. All right.
becomes content worth posting to your story. Rachel Weinstein was a therapist in Portland, Maine, and she kept noticing something interesting. Clients in their 20s and 30s would mention almost apologetically things they'd never learned. How to sew a button, how to cook an egg, how to discuss difficult topics. These were people with degrees and careers. So in 2016, she started the Adulting School. People signed up in their masses to learn how to make friends, cook, and carry out basic home DIY. The concept spread to universities.
There's a program for this? Are you serious? What the hell?
Berkeley
I didn't know it was that bad, but Jesus.
began offering 90-minute weekly sessions on cooking and budgeting, while Michigan State and others created their own adulting workshops. The funny thing is, Gen Z and millennials aren't stupid. In fact, they're the most highly educated and qualified generations in human history, and seemingly contribute more to the economy than any other. But for the first time in history, there's a massive gaping lack of practical life skills and common sense, the kind that people used to learn through osmosis. The death of adulthood isn't just reflected in everyday behavior, it's reflected in how our language has evolved too. Think of the word triggered. It used to describe someone's response to PTSD, but now gets deployed whenever someone encounters mild discomfort. Then there's self-care, which actually started as a radical concept from Black and Latin feminist writers talking about survival in oppressive systems. And this somehow morphed into buying bath bombs and skipping work emails. Everything is self-care if you squint hard enough. Watching reality TV is self-care, ordering takeout is self-care, ghosting your friend's birthday party is self-care.
Actually, yeah, no, that is kind of true, yeah.
Because crowds are just too much right now. And what about bed rotting, spending entire days in bed, scrolling through TikTok, ordering DoorDash?
Yeah, no, I see this a lot too, man. It's really unhealthy. There are some that I feel like not some, but I just seen so many people just yeah, no, like bed rotting, yeah. It's like it's not really good for you, man.
Binge watching Netflix, sometimes for 12, 14, 16 hours straight.
Damn.
Even all of this has been rebranded as self-care. Staying in bed all
Really? So they got a word for that. Really? It's self-caring? Yeah, I don't feel like doing I'm just gonna stay in bed, self-caring while watching like fucking boring ass TV shows, man. Like, dude, come on, man.
weekend is just protecting your energy. What used to be concerning behavior is now a wellness trend with millions of views on social media. And then there's the word toxic, which became the universal descriptor for anything uncomfortable. Toxic workplaces, toxic friends, toxic boyfriends, toxic girlfriends, toxic family dynamics.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. That word is just plastered everywhere, man. Like, oh man, it's just fucking annoying, man. That word is just so it's already like beaten to half to death, man. I can't stand it.
The word's got so overused, it's completely lost its power. When you
Exactly.
watch clips from old TV, you realize that people were much more philosophical and articulate in their speech. They never resorted to buzzwords to describe complex ideas and emotion. Check out this 1966 BBC video of children discussing their predictions for the year 2000, and how articulate and smart they come across, and how eerily accurate their predictions actually are. One kid says the world will be overpopulated and risks nuclear war.
Well, I think that it'll be so overpopulated that there'll all be wars, all nuclear explosions and everything.
Another speaks about automation and people being out of work.
There is going to be all this automation. People are going to be out of work and a great population. And I think something has to be done about it.
Perhaps most haunting.
Dude, that is insane, man. They were this smart. Oh my god, and they were right. Man, what happened to the education system? Well, we already know what happened. It basically was fucking gutted to the ground. But Jesus, man. Like these predictions they're right. Yeah. Like my god.
of all, one says people will be treated as statistics more than as actual people.
I think people will be regarded more as statistics than as actual people.
As we can see from
Wow, that is insane. The fact that that's even true. This is like what, like it's in the 60s or 50s, and they're right. My lord, man, and just how smart these kids are. My
this
God.
clip, people looked radically different back then too. Remember this viral image of Sean Connery in 1964? He looks like he could sit in board meetings and negotiate international treaties. Thomas Brody Sangster in 2024 looks like he needs permission to stay up past his bedtime. Generations
That's true, yeah. It does look like it.
of adult kids or kiddos are now simulating whole new economies that are flipping business models on their head. Lego is a company that has always been quick to catch on to new trends, and they introduced their Adults Welcome branding in 2020, with their revenue increasing to $10 billion within a few years. You can now buy Lego sets that cost a whole monthly paycheck. Think of Hello Kitty.
Dude, that's
This
insane.
character is literally 50 years old, she's been around since 1974, but somehow the creators managed to reinvent her for a completely new generation of adults. Then there's the whole blind box craze that's absolutely exploded and is now worth billions from practically nothing. Popmart, the Chinese company behind many blind box brands and characters,
I seen this. I seen this a lot. I didn't know what it was until they mentioned it. Yeah, no, this thing's popping up like fucking everywhere where I live. Like,
basically
my God.
created an empire around not knowing what toy you're buying. It's a cube-friendly form of gambling.
I kind of hate that though. I really hate that because you just only want that one, like that one figure, right? Just only that one figure, and then that's it. But you have to buy like 20 or 30 of these, man, just to get that one character. It's really really annoying. It's the same thing like playing Magic together when you're buying the new sets. Like what was it? Like the Final Fantasy set, right? People was trying to clamor like one of the commanders, and I think the other one was the Buster Sword, and people would just buy like packs of it, like packs of sets, like a box of them, like 2 boxes, 3 boxes, man. And it's nothing similar like this. I mean, it kind of is, but it's just this is just crazy though.
These companies have become brilliant at reading the room. They figured out that adults desperately want to feel something, and apparently what we want is to feel like 8 years old again. And yet this is a subject that's hard to find accurately reported information about, because the media always spins this into a political narrative, which is why you should check out ground.news/moon.
Yeah, let's skip this. Skip the ad. Oh yeah, no, sorry about that. Something happened with my internet, but yeah, no, let's get back.
For these reasons that in 2024, kidults officially overtook preschoolers as the biggest toy buying demographic on the planet. And of course, look, there's nothing dramatically wrong with adults buying the old nostalgic toy or enjoying things from their childhood. As a one-off, these things are great, but when entire
Yeah, no, like it's great. Like I collect like some Marvel figures, like the first one I got was the Vulture from one of Spider-Man's enemies. It was the Marvel Legends one. My best friend gave it to me, as a gift, and because of that, I started to collect some Marvel figures, some of the hero and some of the villains that I liked and enjoyed. And yeah, no, but now I know for a fact like I need to like cut back, in which I did. So now I don't buy as much figures as I want. You know, I only buy some. Though there are like some figures that I do want to get, but that's neither here nor there.
corporations are pivoting their business models because grown-ups have become their primary customers, that tells us something bigger is going on here. And in some cases, this obsession with toys and childish interests has become downright disturbing. The TikTok account for Teletubbies, a show for toddlers, started making content for adults, participating in TikTok trends with suggestive imagery and music. Oh, and an underwear brand even launched a Teletubbies range. Like, that's not weird at all. Some of this
that is really weird. What the actual fuck?
is part of the age regression community that has multiplied lately, with adults buying cribs, sippy cups, and dummies marketed as stress relief and sensory aid.
Stress
What
relief?
started
Dude, no, that's weird. No, that is really weird. Why would you buy that? That's for a baby. My God.
As legitimate therapeutic techniques has morphed into something much stranger, with entire
I
marketplaces
don't
selling
believe it.
adult baby products. And they say art imitates life, and if you really want to see how dramatically our artistic culture is being infantilized, just look at
Oh my
movies. They
God.
perfectly
I forgot about that bullshit painting, man. I think it was like what, like $10,000, like it was sold. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. I mean, shit, man. Let me just fucking throw up in the floor, and that's art right there. And I'm not kidding. Actually, some fucking idiot actually threw up, and it was like in an art gallery, and it got sold like almost like what, $5,000, because and they labeled it like, oh, that's art and it's artistic. Oh, fuck out of here with that shit. Get the fuck out, man.
illustrates how the West is progressing from the intellectual, the complex, the experimental, and the philosophical to something engineered for immediate gratification and mass consumption with absolutely no depth or meaning. Let's take Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey from 1968. The
Great
film
film.
opens with a very long scene of apes discovering tools. There's zero dialogue, no explanation, just classical music and slow immersive visuals. You have to sit there for a while and think and process the scene. The whole movie asks massive questions about consciousness and humanity's future, all while giving you absolutely nothing in terms of clear answers. And people back then loved it. They would pack out cinemas to watch this stuff. 30 minutes of one long continuous scene. This wasn't just some niche art film, in fact it's one of the most successful films of all time. Audiences saw it multiple times trying to understand it. People have written essays about it and had lengthy arguments about what the end
Yeah, no, that film. Yeah, no, I when I first watched it when I was a kid, I didn't understand it till much later on, and that's where I started to kind of get some of it, including some of Kubrick's films. I mean, the man was he was great. He know how to tell a story, man.
ending meant. It's the inspiration for people like Christopher Nolan, and the confusion of the movie was part of the appeal, as the meaning of the film was subjective based on the viewer. And so let's fast forward to now, and things just couldn't be any more different. Film producers like those behind Disney and the Marvel Universe have figured out this formula where every single moment is engineered for immediate gratification, with entire teams A/B testing on how to trigger your dopamine response to CGI effects. Everything is choreographed for maximum dopamine, with emotional
True.
scenes that last just long enough to register before getting undercut with jokes, constant visual spectacle, characters explaining the plot to each other in
Yeah, no, yeah. With the Marvel films, they joke around so many times in like some serious scenes. It all started because of the first film, the Guardians of the Galaxy. In my opinion, that's where they fall they follow this formula and say, hey, this actually worked. Maybe we can do it in the next couple films, and it did. But now it's just getting so fucking annoying and dry. Like I just fucking hate it. Like honestly, like honestly, man.
case anyone got confused. It's why Martin Scorsese has been such an outspoken critic of these films,
Yeah.
as so many of them are just essentially the same story. Good guys fight bad guys, universe saved, roll credits, with major
True.
stars, CGI, and billions invested with psychological manipulation to keep you watching. And
Yeah.
any films that dare to be obscure are rarely even commercial successes anymore. If you
Yeah, I miss those films though. Like some of these films like had like a twist with it, a dark twist or something like came out of the left field that we didn't know. I miss those films, you know. Oh man, they were great. And now we just have all this um action nonstop. I love action films, I love it, but showing it too much, it's really kind of annoying. Kind of gets exhausting, really. I mean, yeah.
You look at the top films of the 1990s and the early 2000s, especially compared to today, and you'll just notice this massive gap in depth and meaning. Instead of films like American Beauty being at the top of the box office, we just now get
Yeah.
recycled Marvel and Star Wars films.
Yep.
The Avenger movies particularly are the pinnacle of this new formulaic film industry. They're 3-hour dopamine delivery systems, and it's kind of genius, as every 30 seconds something is designed to make you feel without asking you to think. There's a fake quip here, with some major A-list star, Then there'll be a huge explosion over there, fan service moment, and just loud, continuous spectacle,
Yep,
on
yep.
repeat for 3 hours. Star
Oh, yeah.
Wars has also gone on a similar direction under Disney, and it's probably
Oh,
even
man.
worse. Yet
Yeah.
all of these films seem to be incredibly effective at what they do. It's why they're the only
True.
films that get hundreds of millions of funding anymore. But they're also exhausting in this weird way. You just leave feeling overstimulated but empty, like you've been at a casino all day. And this transformation from 2001 to Avengers captures what happened to the arts. We went from wanting experiences that expanded our minds to needing entertainment that shuts them off. From quiet
Yeah.
reflection and
Yeah, no, it's insane how far we came apart from this, man. Yeah, now it's all about entertaining. Entertainment, like, like he explained. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Um it's just missing, like I said, it's just missing that for me, I would love just to watch just a really great film that has like a really great twist to it, but not so much of the slop, like so much of the action films, or the good guys always wins and all that. It's like I said, I like it, but not. It's just so much, man. That we got so much of it. It's just kind of exhausting. It's just overstimulating, man. Like, for real.
patience to panic if nothing happens for 30 seconds, where people need to continually check their phone for the next dopamine hit if the film doesn't have another explosion in. Something deep has changed in how we process reward and satisfaction. Our dopamine receptors have been hijacked, and we've spoken about this on this channel for years now, but it's just so scary how much this really
Wait a minute. Hold on. What was that one? Sorry. Sorry
and
about
we've
that.
spoken about
Instagram changed society for. Hmm. I am actually curious about this. I probably will watch that. How Instagram changed society forever. Because I actually kind of do believe that, you know, because it really did change society, and it's completely and utterly fucked.
this on this channel for years now, but it's just so scary how much this really has changed, as our dopamine systems no longer work the way they're supposed to. When our ancestors heard a rustle in the grass or spotted movement in the trees, dopamine sharpened their focus and prepared their bodies to respond. It was the brain's
Yep.
way of saying this matters, pay attention. The chemical helped them remember where they found food, which paths led to water, and what sounds meant danger. For almost all of
Yep.
human history, those dopamine hits came from real events with real consequences, and genuine accomplishments triggered genuine rewards. You couldn't just
Yeah.
manufacture endless novelty. Sure, prehistoric humans found ways to amuse themselves between hunting and sleeping, but nothing like scrolling through brain rot clips all day, getting food from
Oh,
Uber
yeah.
Eats with 100+ chemicals mashed into it, all while seeing more beautiful women in an hour that a king a few hundred years ago would see in a lifetime. And so now
Yeah,
we're essentially
true,
running
true.
Stone Age software in a digital world. And companies like Disney have made billions from hijacking this, as they were
Yep.
one of the first to weaponize this vulnerability in human psychology. But it's easy to understand how this can be
Oh, yeah.
hijacked for content. But how has this spread to everything? Well, there's one theory about why companies benefit so much from the death of adulthood, and that comes from the French philosopher Bernard Stiegler. He argued that consumer capitalism isn't as effective with fully formed adults. And think about it, mature adults can wait, think critically, delay gratification. They fix
Okay.
broken items instead of buying new ones. Children, on the other hand, are kind of perfect
True,
consumers,
yeah.
especially when they have adult money, as they live entirely in the present moment. They want things immediately, they're always emotional, easily influenced, and highly responsive to bright colors and loud noises.
Yep.
This is
True.
why there's so much money to be made from advertising to kids. All the kid content on YouTube rakes in so much more money than regular content. And Bernard saw this as society creating people who are perpetually incomplete, not broken exactly, but insecure, restless, and always needing the next thing. In other words, kidults are the perfect customer base. And companies have been actively exploiting this with what they neatly call persuasive design. They study the science of addiction or persuasion and apply it to games and social media apps to get people hooked. Shockingly, they're specifically targeting children with these techniques. Psychologists and children's advocates
Yeah, no, it's insane they're using that on kids, and just to just keep them a hook up. Just keep just adding more of your addictions. It's insane. Yeah, my God, man.
advocates recently called out the tech industry for using psychological manipulation tactics on kids. They know that teenagers' brains are still developing, making them especially vulnerable to this type of stimulation and ultimately addiction. There's been national inquiries into this in countries like the UK, but nothing truly happens. And yet the death of adulthood is a huge benefit for companies, and a huge cost to our health and well-being. Every time we choose the easier, faster, more stimulating option, we're training our brains to expect instant gratification. The brain is like a muscle, and if you don't use it properly, it weakens. That's a big reason why our attention spans are collapsing. People often say humans now have shorter attention spans than goldfish. Now this isn't actually true, but the myth persists because it feels true. When you can't sit through a movie without checking your phone constantly, when you have to skip songs after 5 seconds, when you need food to be rammed with additive chemicals, sugars and fats, of course then it makes it seem like our attention spans are shrinking. And what really is measurable is how our media has contracted. The average shot length in movies has plummeted from about 12 seconds in 1930 to around 2.5 seconds today. Modern films cut so frequently that modern movies now contain over 1,100 shots compared to a few hundred in older films. And if you think this was just because it was harder to film more shots back then, let's go look at music, where we see a similar pattern. Song intros have shrunk from 20 seconds in the 1980s to just 5 seconds today. Between 2013 and 2018 alone, the average Billboard Hot 100 song got 20 seconds shorter. The strange thing is how all of this happened gradually and then just suddenly. Each change seemed reasonable on its own. Why shouldn't a movie have more dynamic editing? Why shouldn't a song get to the point faster? It's reasonable until it's not. But there's an elephant in the room that we just haven't yet discussed, and that's the actual economics of trying to be an adult right now in the West. In 1970, the average age for a first birth was about 20 years old, and couples could realistically plan their lives. Back in 1960, the median home cost $11,900, while the median income was $5,600, which
What? Really? Back then? Jeez. Man, what the fuck happened, man?
meant basically a house cost about 2 years of income. Today, of course, the median home price has climbed to 5.6 times the median household income. And in places like California, you'd need an annual income of $237,000 just to qualify for a mortgage on a mid-tier home.
Damn.
The number of under 35s still living with their parents has rocketed because many simply can't afford to move out. Living with parents,
Yeah, no, it is really, really hard, man, to afford a house, man. You need like roommates, man. Like you need like at least like maybe like 4 or 5 roommates just to live in a house and just to survive. But it's not enough, and there are some people who do live with their parents who are in their 30s or in their 40s, man. I kind of feel I feel really bad. I mean, shit, dude, man, come
is
on.
naturally going to make you feel like less of an adult. So, cultural infantilization is to some extent a form of psychological and economic adaptation, but one that's become self-destructive, and we've completely lost control of it. Studies now show that younger generations are burning out at 25. Previous generations weren't hitting peak stress until much later in life, when they had mortgages and kids to worry about. The concept of burnout wasn't even widely used until recently. It originated in 1974 from psychotherapist Herbert Freudenberger, who used this to describe heavy narcotics use. Today, the signs of burnout are written all over people's faces. Some call it the Generation Z stare, that blank, 1,000-yard expression that was once associated with disassociation due to acute stress and traumatic events. It was even first documented in World War I and World War II soldiers who'd seen too many horrific things in combat. And you know where else you'll see that stare? Casinos, which also feast upon our dopamine. Walk through any casino floor and you'll see rows of people with that same vacant expression. Blank faces crowding around roulette tables, people sitting alone at slot machines, windows blacking out the entire place. The whole infrastructure meant to block out any sense of time, where everyone looks washed out and tired, but is unable to leave, obviously drifting in and out of reality. That's what the effects of overstimulation looks like. So here it is, we've learned how to stimulate the brain artificially. We manufacture that stimulus at a societal level. We feed it to ourselves all the time, and we've gotten ourselves completely hooked on it. So where are we heading from there? Well, have you seen the movie Idiocracy? We mention it
Oh yeah.
regularly on the channel and even made a whole video on the topic. It came out in 2006 by Mike Judge, and everyone thought this movie was just a simple comedy about how stupid people might become in the future. Now it feels less like a satire and more like a real documentary filmed in
It
advance.
is. It is. It's a great film too. But that definitely feels like that, man. Like it is so we are so there, man. Like it's not even funny, man. It's kind of sad just how far we fell off, man.
The movie shows a world where corporations have completely taken over, everyone's
Mhm.
addicted to junk food and mindless entertainment, and people have basically forgotten how to think for themselves. The most popular TV show is called Ow My Balls, literally just a guy getting hit in the groin repeatedly. That's what passes for entertainment, and it probably would today too. The film was
Yeah.
so accurate in its corporate satire that Fox Studios barely even promoted it, and only released it in 7 cities, as they were terrified
Wow.
of offending their advertisers, who were scared of waking people up to the reality of how dumb we're getting. Idiocracy isn't the only movie that saw this coming. Funnily enough, Wall-E came out in 2008 and showed humans who had become so
Oh
dependent
yeah.
on technology that they literally couldn't even walk anymore, needing a constant screen and food at all times. They float around in chairs, staring at the screens, consuming mindless entertainment while robots do everything for them. And it's honestly
Yeah.
one of the most eerie predictions I've ever seen in a movie. And then there's Black Mirror, which doesn't even pretend to be set in the distant future. Most episodes are set in the near
Oh
future
yeah.
dystopia that feels uncomfortably close to our present reality. Social credit scores, virtual reality addiction, people rating each other on apps like T. Half of these things already exist. What all these stories have in common is they don't show some alien invasion or nuclear apocalypse. They show us defeating ourselves, rewiring our psychology, and preying on our dopamine to completely make us numb and apathetic. All through convenience, through comfort, through the gradual surrender of everything that makes us human. It's why we'll never see another movie like 2001 Space Odyssey ever again. There will no longer be Renaissance
Mhm.
art, and it's gonna lead us to one of the most boring apocalypses imaginable.
Yeah, no,
A slow death by 1,000 tiny conveniences.
yeah, no, man. We're man, we're really there, man. And it sucks too. And that's why I'm trying really hard to get out of this rat race and just go, just live far away from this place, man. Like somewhere in the countryside, where I could just see the sun rise up while there's lush green grass all around. That's what I will want to live there. Just see the sunrise and just enjoy. You know, but yeah, but I don't know. This film, this video really. I thought it was just gonna be just about Disney adults, but no, I went much further into it, which is really I mean, it was really unsettling, but it was really good too, man. But what do you guys think, man? Leave a comment because I do want to hear your guys' opinion. Do you feel like we're there or are we not? Like, are we getting to the point where we're slowly gonna get we're tongue twist? Are we slowly gonna get consumed by this, or do you think we might break out? But yeah, no. That's it for me, man. I'll see you guys later. All right, peace out. Bye.